Good morning. It's November again, which means it's time to try and write another novel. Last year, I tried something different. Instead of going for the usual goal of writing 50,000 words in a month, I tried to start a new short story every day for November. And while this was a fun project, I found it very difficult compared to writing one project. I fell far short of the 50,000 word goal and didn't end up finishing many of the short stories. This year, I've decided to stick to one story again, combining 3 ideas that I was thinking about into a story. This turned into 3 characters who I let run wild. The genre is science fiction, and it is so far writing something like a space odyssey. I am on pace now and have had a pretty easy time writing, although it's worth mentioning that I have never succeeded in a novel writing November. As I haven't written a lot over the last year, it has been fun to get back into it. There is a joy that comes with creating a new project and seeing how it develops and blossoms over time. There are many writing strategies, but they are usually broken up into 2 different camps, pantsers and planners. Pantsers write without any framework or notes, just seeing where the story takes them. A friend of mine is a pantser, and I know that this year he started writing with as little a plan as possible. This is what works well for him and allows him freedom and flexibility without being tied down to a particular idea. Planners, on the other hand, start with some kind of outline or research about their topic. Planning is especially useful for historical fiction stories or hard sci-fi. Drawing from a well of resources helps bring the story to life. I fall somewhere in the middle of these camps. It's fun to pants and see where the writing takes you, but oftentimes I begin to write notes that form themselves into a rough structure. This helps remind me where I was taking the story and provides prompts for me to flesh out later. One strategy I have for starting a new project or scene is to just jump right in. Many of my short stories start with a character name and a brief description of some activity. I use this as a jumping off point to find out where the story will go, even if these sections are ultimately removed. I find it easier to write during Novel November because there isn't a lot of weight attached to the project. Unlike some of my other stories, which I have spent a long time thinking about and planning, my projects for Nano are just for fun and to practice the exercise of writing. Daily practice helps with habit formation and can keep you writing throughout the year. If writing is not your art form, I encourage you to use Novel Writing November in your own way. Perhaps you could write a piece of music every day, or a cartoon, or work on material for your stand-up comedy set. The important thing is to set a manageable goal and try to execute it within the time frame. Those who set goals are more likely to complete them, and they act as a marker of progress. Novel November and the surrounding website is filled with supportive peers who share their work and host writing events, both online and in their respective cities. As someone who spent a lot of time reading, it's interesting to write and see things from the other side of the coin. I always seem to write about the same topics and themes, regardless of what genre I start out with. It is a good exercise in finding out what I like, what I don't, and why. Another tip I would have would be to start with a strong characterization, as the characters can make or break a story. A believable character who reacts in honest and understandable ways will help carry your story. I wish you good luck on this November month and happy writing. Let me know what your project will look like this year and what your success with Nano has been in the past. Like Red Green says, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.